Police are investigating a hit and run that happened here at UMass Monday evening. I'm 22 News reporter Jillian Andrews, and I'll bring you the latest from the District Attorney's Office.
Raising awareness for colon cancer in the month of March. I'm 22 News reporter Kate Wilkinson, and I'll have what a doctor here at Bay State is saying about the highly preventable disease.
Hopefully you enjoyed the sunshine today. We do have clouds now for just about the rest of the week. We'll show you when we might run into some rain and some ice with the 22 News Storm Team forecast.
Live from the 22 News Broadcast Center, this is 22 News at 5.
Our 22 News Day of Giving is underway to support the people of Ukraine as their country is torn apart by war. Tonight, how you can join our effort to help make a difference. Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 5. I'm Ciara Speller. This evening, Western Massachusetts communities are standing in solidarity with the people of Ukraine. 22 News reporter Christina Demores joins us live at the Springfield Jewish Community Center. And Christina, a rally is set to take place there shortly.
Yeah, Ciara, that rally is about 30 minutes away. Right now, I am joined by the CEO of JCC, Sam Dobrinsky. Sam, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
So we want to learn a little bit about this rally today. So what can people expect?
Yeah, so thank you again for being here and helping us raise awareness. People can expect to hear different perspectives from Ukrainians themselves, those who have relatives who are Ukrainian, and different perspectives from elected officials. So we're excited to be able to provide those different thoughts and ideas about what's going on in Ukraine and also be able to really support that community.
And Sam, why is it important to support Ukrainians, especially here in Massachusetts?
Definitely. So we think it's really important at the JCC based on our community values and also just being aware of the significant tragedy that is happening in Ukraine. It's devastating. It's heartbreaking. There are no words for it. So to be able to stand in unity with our fellow human beings, even across the globe, is really important.
And to finish up, what would you like the viewers back at home to know about this rally? What would you like them to take away from this?
I think it's really important that we continue to advocate and express our support for the Ukrainians. This seems to get dire and dire as the minute goes by, so anything that we can do here will be hugely well received in Ukraine.
All right, thank you, Sam, so much for your time. We look forward to that rally. Yes, of course. And then you can also join the rally because it starts at 5:30 and it is open to everyone. Thank you. Working for you in Springfield, Christina Demores, 22 News.
And what's happening to the families and children of Ukraine is devastating to watch unfold, and why we're asking you to consider joining us in our Day of Giving. 22 News anchor Don Shipman is live in the Web Center to explain how you can help.
Yes, Ciara, it has been so difficult to see those images, that video coming out of Ukraine, those children who are suffering, those families who are suffering. So today we are asking you to make a monetary donation to organizations that are helping the people of Ukraine. And already so many people have fled Ukraine. The United Nations is saying that more than 3.4 million refugees have fled Ukraine already in less than 4 weeks. They estimate that 4 million people may flee in total. The majority of the refugees have fled to Poland, where many humanitarian organizations are helping, but hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians are also in Romania, Moldova, Hungary, Slovakia, and Russia. So, we're providing information to you to help ensure that medicine, medical supplies, food, shelter get to those in need through these highly rated charities. Now we're partnering with AmeriCares and Save the Children. To donate, we ask that you go to our website and click on the 2 links on our homepage there that say Helping Ukrainians in Need. And just to be clear, 22 News is not taking physical donations, only online through the designated links that I just mentioned. Now, AmeriCares is a global relief organization that has established a base of operations near the border of Ukraine. And 22 News reporter Alana Flood takes a look at really the incredible work they're doing.
AmeriCares was one of the first relief organizations to mobilize an emergency response team to Eastern Europe. We spoke with Jenny Goldstein from AmeriCares about the critical help this organization is providing families during this escalating humanitarian crisis.
In a busy warehouse in Stamford, Connecticut, AmeriCares team members are working around the clock to pack up essential supplies for the refugees who have left their lives behind.
We're hearing and seeing that so many of these refugees had to leave with nothing but what they could carry. Oftentimes they left in such a quick amount of time that they did not bring their medicines and medical supplies that they might need every day to treat chronic conditions. And the needs are immense.
In addition to the pressing physical needs, AmeriCares anticipates an acute mental health crisis among these displaced families.
We've learned through our 40 years of doing this that whenever you have so many people displaced so suddenly, there's going to be an acute need for all kinds of health services. And we are focused on making sure that people have access to both physical and mental health needs so that people can try to live healthy lives.
AmeriCares has shipped out more than 3 tons of medicine and medical supplies to distribute from its base in Krakow, Poland. Many more shipments are lined up. Any donation you can provide during this day of giving will help ensure AmeriCares can continue its important work for the people of Ukraine. Working for you, I'm Alana Flood, 22 News.
All right, we're going to continue our coverage throughout the next 90 minutes here, explaining how you can help. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to tell you about another organization. That organization, Save the Children. Alana will have much more on that. Again, how you can help. In the meantime, we invite you to go to our website at WWLP.com. All you have to do is click on the Helping Ukrainians in Need, and there that'll link you directly to the organizations that we've been talking about here. Working for you live here in the newsroom, Don Shipman, 22 News.
And now the 22 News Storm Team forecast.
Got a few thin clouds out there right now. You can see them kind of floating in from the west and southwest, and it's breezy. You can see the flag there at Riverfront Park is straight out with this west wind, and actually we got a northwest wind at most of our locations. Sustained winds at 14 miles per hour, Orange and Springfield 15 miles per hour, Westfield occasionally we're gusting over 30 miles per hour, and this is why it's very dangerous to burn anything outside right now, because with the lack of snow on the ground, the bright sunny sky that we had for most of the day, low humidity and wind, that is, those are prime ingredients for brush fires. So be very careful with any outdoor burning. Again, it's best not to burn this afternoon, this evening. And also be careful with the disposal of smoking materials. It doesn't take much more than a spark to set off a brush fire at this time of year and with these conditions. So here are those thin clouds around. We're going to call it scattered clouds here for tonight. You can see it on our 22 News Storm Team Nightcast. 52 right now, breezy 45 at 7 o'clock, 38 and breezy at 9 o'clock, and then a few clouds at 11 o'clock and 33 degrees. We go gray tomorrow, and eventually we get into some rain. Might even see some freezing rain around here. We'll show you where with our 22 News Storm Team Skycast.
Continuing coverage now, a UMass student is in the hospital following a hit and run on the university's campus last night. 22 News reporter Jillian Andrews is live from our Hampshire County Bureau after speaking with the Northwestern DA's office.
Ciara, police are asking anyone with information to please reach out. I spoke with students who said they were heartbroken to hear about this accident. The UMass campus in shock following a hit and run just after 10 p.m. Monday. According to police, a student was crossing Massachusetts Avenue near Sunset Avenue. The student was struck by a white or silver-colored SUV. The vehicle did not stop and continued eastbound on Massachusetts Avenue. That student was taken to Bay State with serious injuries.
So obviously the driver knows what he or she did, but there's likely to be other people connected to the driver who also know what happened. And we're really just begging to their sense of decency and humanity to step forward and do the right thing.
Crossing signs and flashing signals line Massachusetts Avenue. According to the university, these safety devices are located immediately preceding where the accident happened. Additionally, the speed limit was recently reduced from 30 to 20 miles an hour.
I mean, it's scary. As college students, you know, we're on our phones, we're talking with our friends, we're thinking about all the stuff we have to do. I know, like, my mindset a lot of the times is just like, oh, they'll stop, like, I'll go, like, they're looking for me.
A 19-year-old student was killed by a vehicle crossing the same street just last month. According to the district attorney's office, it sees no connection between the two incidents.
They're very different and separate incidents. They had different circumstances surrounding them. The weather was very different. But bottom line is, this is a very busy street at a very large university.
I'm told the university has hired a consulting firm to look into pedestrian safety on campus. Again, anyone with information on this hit and run is asked to call police. Working for you from the Hampshire County Bureau, Jillian Andrews, 22 News.
And state police are investigating a fiery crash that killed one person on Route 57 in Agawam. State police told 22 News one person died in a single vehicle crash on Route 57 westbound next to the Garden Street overpass just before 4 this morning. Police say a 2021 Lincoln Navigator was westbound when it went off the road to the right and struck the bridge abutment. The vehicle then caught fire, and Agawam fire crews put that fire out and discovered a body inside. The identity of the driver is not known at this time, and the crash is still being investigated. New this evening, March is about raising awareness for colon cancer, a disease where experts say early detection is key in saving lives. 22 News reporter Kate Wilkinson is live in Springfield. And Kate, they're now recommending people start the screening process even younger.
They're starting to see colon cancer show up even younger than before, and that's why they're recommending screening for as young as 45 years old. And you may not be thinking too much about your colon, but Dr. Fish said that it's one of the most common forms of cancer and is a common cause of death, with 600,000 people expected to be diagnosed with it this year alone. But the good news, it's highly preventable. And one way that they do that is through a colonoscopy, which not only checks your colon for cancer, but also cleans it from polyps, which could develop into cancer. To show how important these screening measures are, you can look at the pandemic.
A lot of people didn't get their colonoscopies on time, and as a result, we're seeing a lot of patients who have more advanced cancers now. And it just really underlines for us the importance of regularly screening your colon.
Dr. Fish said the reason behind fewer people getting those screenings was because they were either concerned to enter healthcare facilities during the pandemic or because the facilities themselves were strained because of COVID. And even if you don't have a family history of colon cancer, it's still worth checking in with your doctor to see what are the risk factors and ways that you can prevent it from happening. Review live in Springfield, Kate Wilkinson, 22 News.
It's an empty lot now, but new low-income apartments are coming to the former Gemini site in the south end of Springfield. I'm Nick Oresco. What the community here can expect in the next couple of years.
And still to come, we continue our 22 News Day of Giving to support the people of Ukraine. You're watching 22 News at 5.
You're watching 22 News at 5.
Back here now, new apartments are one step closer to being built on the former Gemini factory site in the south end of Springfield. 22 News reporter Nick Oresco learned what type of housing the community can expect in the next couple of years.
Right now, it's an empty plot of land that's been vacant for decades, but soon it will be filled with residential housing. Here's a rendering of what the complex will be looking like in the near future. Home City Development signed the land disposition agreement with the city of Springfield, basically the OK, to develop up to 44 sale residential units on the former Gemini site in the south end of Springfield. It's located on Central Street. The townhouse development will serve low to moderate income households earning between 70% and 100% of adjusted median income.
There's 40 apartment units that are being built. They're all affordable homeownership projects, and they'll be available to anybody in Springfield and our neighboring towns, and they're all affordable from the range of $140,000 to upwards to $260,000.
We think it'll be great for jobs, it'll be great for homeowners, it'll be great for the city as a whole.
The site formerly housed a 100,000 square foot textile mill, owned by the Gemini Corporation. It was abandoned back in 1989 and destroyed by a fire in 2003. Officials are hoping to have shovels in the ground, hopefully, they say, by the end of this year. We're live in Springfield this evening. Nick Oresco, 22 News.
Well, with the population expected to grow from 7.7 billion people in the world to 10 billion by 2050, experts are looking for sustainable food sources to feed everyone. Registered dietitian Nancy Dell tells us how bugs can fill the need for food in tonight's Food for Thought.
For many people, the thought of eating insects sounds disgusting, but edible insects include beetles, caterpillars, ants, grasshoppers, and crickets. They can be farmed in a cost-effective, environmentally friendly way, especially compared to beef and pork. Insects emit low amounts of greenhouse gases. By some estimates, it takes just 2 pounds of feed to produce 1 pound of crickets, compared to 8 pounds of feed needed to produce 1 pound of beef. Insects are an excellent source of protein, fiber, healthy fats, and many minerals. On the downside, some insects accumulate environmental toxins easily, and there is little regulation, though some companies submit documentation on their safety of products. 2 billion people worldwide, mostly in tropical regions, already eat insects. Soon you may see insects in cookies, crackers, cakes, pasta, tortilla chips, and protein bars. With Food for Thought, I'm Nancy Dell.
A little bit of freezing rain and sleet is possible in the hills, especially over 1,000 feet tomorrow night west of the Connecticut River. Thus, the winter weather advisory from the National Weather Service. We'll show you how this evolves with our 22 News Storm Team Skycast.
Bishop Talbert Swan appointed to the state's Hate Crimes Task Force. I'm 22 News reporter Kate Wilkinson, and I'll have what he's saying about the role.
I'm Nick Oresco in Springfield, where police removed 14 ATVs and dirt bikes last week. With the warmer weather, how police are stepping up their efforts to make sure these illegal vehicles stay off the roads.
The UMass men's hockey team is gearing up for another shot at becoming NCAA champions. I'm 22 News reporter Jillian Andrews, and I'll tell you how students are feeling as the Minutemen prepare for their next game.
The Soldiers Home bill is moving right along here on Beacon Hill. I'm 22 News reporter Jody Reed at the State House, and I'll tell you where that bill is headed next.
And now, the 22 News Storm Team Forecast with meteorologist Brian Lapis.
Live look from downtown. A little bit of thin cloudiness overhead. These clouds will be in and out. In fact, there's a little area of blue sky just over the Connecticut River right now. So scattered clouds, thin clouds here this evening. Wind is going to diminish. It's a mostly cloudy day here tomorrow, 48 degrees. Generally, it's dry tomorrow during the daylight hours. Maybe a couple of sprinkles late in the day, but no big deal. Raining on Thursday, sun cloud mix, chance for a sprinkle on Friday, 56. 221 to 521. You can see these thin clouds spreading in from southwest to northeast here. Wider view. There it is. You can see that there's even a little bit of light rain over Pennsylvania. We're not worried about that. But gradually these clouds are going to start to get a foothold over the valley. 7 o'clock here this evening, mostly clear to scattered clouds. 11 o'clock, a few clouds around, so you get the idea. Quiet. Again, the wind diminishes here as the sun sets, which is certainly good news. And then tomorrow morning, we're in the low 20s tomorrow morning, by the way, so it's going to be cool to start the day. And notice how the clouds fairly quickly thicken up. Partly sunny to mostly cloudy at 9 o'clock, mostly cloudy at noon. Still dry. Again, after 3 o'clock, we could run into a sprinkle or two. If you blink, you miss it, but you can see a couple of light sprinkles of rain, sleet, and snow over the Berkshires at 7 p.m. Then things get a little interesting here tomorrow evening. You can see scattered light rain showers here at 11 o'clock, but a couple of scattered showers of freezing rain and sleet in Franklin County at 11 p.m. And then overnight, you can see in the hills the freezing rain and sleet. So again, western Hamden, western Hampshire, western Franklin County, Berkshire County, the potential for some icing for you. In the valley, mainly plain rain. And then as we head into the morning hours here, middle of the day on Thursday, this icing is persistent over the hills. Rain at 9 a.m. in the valley on Thursday. By noontime, just about all of us are over to plain rain and some scattered showers Thursday afternoon. Here's our 22 News Storm Team forecast for tonight. Scattered clouds, overnight low 20 to 26. 22 News Storm Team CountyCast for Hampden County tomorrow. Quickly becoming mostly cloudy, generally dry during the daylight hours tomorrow. 49 Westfield, 50 in Springfield, 49 in Palmer. Hampshire County, 49 for you in Northampton, 50 in Amherst. A little bit cooler in the hills, Middlefield at 43 and 47 tomorrow, Charlemont. South Deerfield, you'll be at 47. Also 47 in Orange and 48 in Greenfield. Best chance for raindrops, sleet pellets, or snowflakes tomorrow afternoon is in Berkshire County. 45 in Pittsfield, 45 Great Barrington, and 50 tomorrow in North Adams. Again, some icing in the hills tomorrow night into Thursday morning. 44 with rain on Thursday here on the 22 News Storm Team 7-day forecast. Friday might be a sprinkle, but generally it's dry, 56. And then some scattered showers of rain, maybe a couple of snowflakes in the Berkshires on Saturday. This will not be a total rain out, but it will be damp on Saturday. Also the chance for a sprinkle on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday looking dry. We'll continue to track it on 22 News at 5:30. Anytime you need us, forecast ready to go on the 22 News app for your mobile device.
You're watching 22 News at 5.
The Federal Reserve Chairman said Monday that the Fed will take tough action against inflation. 22 News reporter Katrina Kincaid explains what that will mean for you.
Inflation is much too high. That's what Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says, and now they're taking steps to help ease Americans' burdens.
We don't have a perfect crystal ball about the future, and we're prepared to use our tools as needed to restore price stability.
The Fed will continue to raise interest rates until inflation comes under control. Last week, they increased the key interest rate for the first time in 3 years by 1/4 point. Powell says the move was designed to help curb inflation, which has forced prices to go higher on everything from milk to cars.
Basically, across the economy, we'd like to slow demand so that it's better aligned with supply, give supply at the same time to recover, and get into a better alignment of supply and demand, and that over time should bring inflation down.
Powell says the pandemic escalated demand for goods that suppliers could not meet, so raising interest rates will deter people from spending, bringing demand in line with what's available and hopefully lowering costs.
The plan is to restore price stability while also sustaining a strong labor market. That is our intention, and we believe we can do that.
The Fed says that they could increase rates even more, and they've planned more hikes later in the year if necessary. Working for you, Katrina Kincaid, 22 News.